During a drawn-out construction process that took 282 years to complete, the Church of Santa Engrácia suffered many setbacks. The original church was built in 1568 outside the walls of Lisbon and was intended to house the relics of the martyr Santa Engrácia. It was founded by Princess Maria, daughter of King Manuel, and the only thing remaining from this original church is the story of desecration of the tabernacle in 1630. A new Christian sent to the stake as punishment, believing himself to be innocent, he cursed the church, saying that it would never be finished. The Brotherhood of the Slaves of the Blessed Sacrament was created in order to repair the damages brought forth by that sacrilege and decided to build a new chancel which collapsed along with part of the church. The construction of another church was then ordered, designed by royal architect João Antunes, with an unusual Greek cross plan and undulating walls characterized by turrets at the corners. The temple reveals a scale, rhythm and proportions based on the Italian Baroque style. There is no other building in Portugal with such visual dynamism resulting from the strong contrasts of light and shade on the twisted elevations. Nevertheless, other structural solutions are part of the Portuguese tradition, such as the Galilee entrance hall, inspired by the one at the Church of São Vicente de Fora, whose sculptural motifs are attributed to Frenchman Claude Laprade. At the date of death of the architect in 1712, the temple was still incomplete, lacking the interior finishes and the dome. Some concerns regarding the robustness of the main facade, widely reaped by the portals and large windows, led to the construction of 4 volute buttresses attributed to Frenchman du Verger. Not even the commitment of the Marquis de Pombal in the second half of the 18th century, who became confrere and registrar of the Brotherhood Board, naming one of his brother inspector in charge of the work, would lead to its conclusion. In the 19th century, several unsuccessful attempts were made to finish the church, inspired by the basilicas of Mafra and Estrela. In the mid-century, the church was occupied by the army, which, after ordering the installation of a metal dome, successively set up at the site a weaponry and a footwear production workshop. By the late century spirit of the liberal cult to the great civic figures of the nation, the use of this church as the National Pantheon was suggested and consecrated in 1916, already during the Republic. However, there were delays in the restart of the works, thus popularizing the saying, like the works of Santa Engrácia, used to refer to a never-ending job. New projects will emerge from 1936, proposing 2 towers in the frontage or the construction of a central dome derived by examples of London, Rome and Paris. Nothing was done, and the works of Santa Engrácia seemed to have no end in sight. It was in 1960 that they finally started, following the design of architect Amoroso Lopes. A double concrete dome overlaid with limestone was then constructed, recovering a proposal from the architect Joaquim Arial e Silva. The interior of the temple, rich in different types of colored marble, has received a range of modern statuary and was embellished with a Baroque organ from the Lisbon Cathedral. Challenging the myth that it would never be finished, Santa Engrácia was finally completed by the end of 1966. Fulfilling the sepulchral and celebratory function of a national pantheon, 6 cenotaphs or symbolic tombs were placed in memory of Constable Nuno Álvares Pereira, Prince Henry, the navigators Vasco da Gama and Pedro Álvares Cabral, Viceroy of India Afonso de Albuquerque, and poet Luís de Camões. The former presidents of the Republic, Manuel de Arriaga, Teófilo Braga, Sidónio Paes, and Oscar Carmona were taken to the National Pantheon. The National Pantheon received the remains of writers Almeida Garrett, João de Deus, Guerra Junqueiro, Aquilino Ribeiro, and more recently General Humberto Delgado, and the fado singer Amália Rodrigues.
The writer Sofia de Melbreiner Anderson, and the sportsman Eusébio da Silva Ferreira.
The National Pantheon stands out in the panorama of Lisbon, and its terrace offers the visitor a unique view of the capital as well as of the river Tagus, maintaining a perfectly harmonious dialogue with it.